What is up, guys? This is New Crown, and I'm here to showcase my build in Affliction League, which is the Int-Stacking, Mana Stacking, Hierophant Totem build. We're using Ballista Totems to employ any number of wand skills, including Power Siphon or Kinetic Bolt. We can also use Kinetic Blast. Our playstyle can change depending on our needs and based on our preferences. We're sort of a wonder build without the dangers of being at the forefront because the totems do that for us. Now, I played this exact build in Ancestor League, and in that league, we had the tattoos to give us point blank for 40% more damage with the tattoos on the keystone, and a lot of tattoo shenanigans that make it a bit easier for quality of life. That's all gone now, but they've given us some nerfs and buffs in this patch. So number one, Power Siphon was nerfed. Power Siphon now says that you fire a wand or a projectile at up to a certain number of targets. So if there's only one target, you only fire one projectile. That means we can't run Barrage anymore. Barrage is a no-go. To make up for that, they've changed the basic gem to give us an easier chance to crit cap. So you get 10% more critical strike chance per power charge and 30% critical strike multiplier per power charge. So if you're running regular power stuff and you can get up to 700 crit multiplier, that's not a small amount. That's a pretty big amount. Also, if you can easily cap your crit chance, you can run the transfigured version, which is Power Siphon of the Archmage, which gives you added lightning damage equal to 20% of maximum mana. If we have 10,000 mana, 20% of that is 2,000, so you get an additional 2,000 flat lightning damage, easy as. So if you already capped your crit, you get enough crit damage, you can certainly run this instead of the normal Power Siphon. So that's the build I'm running. The reason I'm not showcasing the build with this explanation is because of the lag, and I'm playing on a laptop, and the noise makes it pretty hard to talk over the gameplay. But I do include a shape run or a clear run in one of the YouTube links with the other channel videos. I'm just here to talk about the build in general and how I've been building it. So the new mechanics this league is Warcry generation. What do I mean by that? And how do we get Warcries in a Hierophant or Templar build? We can get Warcry generation by utilizing some of the charms, which is a new thing this league, and the new jewel that drops from King of the Mist, which is a That Which Is Taken jewel, which I've got somewhere here. Nope, here. Yes. So as you can see, the note here says Warcries grant 5 rage per 5 power if you have less than 25 rage. There's a few ways to get maximum rage in the build. You can weapon swap to a Red Blade banner and Warcry once and you get maximum rage. Or you can run 2 of these, including a charm setup here. So once you Warcry once, you'll be at 20, and once you Warcry again, you'll be at 35 or 40, depending on what your rage level was at the time. So how do we get the power to generate the rage? So conveniently, this notable cluster is near where we path, and it gives us the mastery. Warcries have a minimum of 10 power, so each time we Warcry, we get 20. We can run a certain number of Warcries. I find that Enduring Cry is the best because it gives you fizz damage reduction. It gives you a burst of energy shield regen, about 3,000 instant energy shield regen on a 2-second cooldown. You just have to get your cast speed up so that you don't start a step when you're casting a Warcry, because we're not using instant Warcries, which is I think one of the nodes here somewhere here gives you instant Warcries. I can't remember which one it was. This one, Call to Arms. Yeah, so we're Int-Stacking this league because of the charms. We can get up to 1.7k int if we wanted to, because there's nodes like these ones that give 40 strength intelligence, and some curse effect. So there's so many notable, small things from other ascendancies that we can put into the build. So for example, this one, the crit chance one, if you haven't dealt a crit strike, is from the assassin or the inquisitor. And then the increased effect of curses is from the occultist. And you can get ones that say you can apply your curses to hexproof enemies, which is a good quality of life because then you can run maps that have hexproof enemies. We run 4 curses in total because we run Anathema's Chains. We have 4 power charges, which means we can apply 4 curses based on our maximum number of power charges. So the curses are Conductivity, Early Weakness, Enfeeble, and Sniper's Mark. Now, um, Sniper's Mark itself is also a curse, so you get boosted by curse effect. We can also run the charms with Mark effect, which has a higher number ceiling for increased damage. So with everything in motion, we put our totems down, we spend a bit of mana with Indigon and get our spell damage up, um, and we have the rage, we cast the Berserk. Our damage at the moment is 44 million, which is enough to do, Uber bosses itself or normal Guardian bosses. Or we can bump the damage up by changing from Power Siphon to Kinetic Bolt of Fragmentation with returning projectiles. Now, Kinetic Bolt of Fragmentation, with my current setup, it only fires 4 projectiles, but you can also get charms that give you +1 proj. Literally, +1 projectile from the Deadeye Ascendancy, but they cost about 100 divines per slot, which is astronomical. You can also get it from that which is taken jewel as well, which is also interesting. So there's a few sources that you can get. So you can technically get 3 charm slots plus that which is taken. You can get +4 projectiles in the tree. There's also the node here which gives you 1 attacks fire, an additional projectile. You can spec into that as well. But I find that 3 projectiles minimum is enough for me to clear content. The way you calculate DPS is roughly, let's see, let's say you got 2 million damage as in your tooltip, 2 million, and then you multiply by the number of projectiles, so 4 for me, and then you multiply by 2 because your secondary projectiles hit, and then returning projectiles hit, and then you multiply by the number of totems because each totem is doing that exact thing. So you get 224 million DPS. I've done Uber Shaper and a few other fights, and it's been going pretty nicely. All deathless. Part of the reason why I've got deathless Uber Shaper runs is because of Eyes of the Great Wolf. I'm not running a full damage Eyes of the Great Wolf. I'm running the one that gives me cold damage taken as lightning damage, which means we can tank Uber Shaper slams and the Shaper balls and stuff without any issues because the Shaper Balls has inherent cold penetration. With the current setup, when taking it as lightning damage, which means no penetration is done at all. So it has 40% cold pen, but it gets converted to lightning damage, which means we only take a minuscule amount. We can tank the Shaper bullet hell phase pretty easily. Um, what else about the build besides the Berserk and the charms? We're running defensive flask. I've got a budget version of the build. As you can see, we still do it's 12 million DPS, and then if Uber is different. Uber is 4 million DPS, which is enough to do it as well. Um, and I'll include the POE in the description below. Um, I'm just talking about the changes compared to previously. If you wanted a more comprehensive talk about the build, you can certainly look at my totem guide from the Ancestor League, which talks about the build in general. If you still wanted to know, read up about the build, in the notes section. It talks about all the damage scaling, from the Int-Stacking, Mind of the Council, Indigon, spell damage, 7 totems, 4 cases, lightning exposure, intimidate, onslaught, everything. It's all in the build, and it talks about the changes from Ancestor League as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you wanted to watch the clear of the build in this league, just catch one of my other videos. I do wish I could record straight away from this, but my laptop is really old. I'm running a 1080. It's not sufficient enough to both record a video, talk about it, as well as do the gameplay without it burning up and heating up. Thanks for watching, guys. This is your crowd. I'm signing off. Cheers.